All right, we are live. It is Friday, June the 6th, noon here on the East Coast. And you know what it means when it's Friday noon? Small biz breakdown time. I don't break it down by myself. I don't like to break it down by myself. I like people, smart people, intelligent people, people with attitude. Wait a minute, that's PWA. I'll just go with the smart people. Let's go to the West Coast. I actually met somebody from Portland, Oregon this week. Interesting. But he's not as interesting as Leland McFarland is. So, hey, Leland.
Hey, Brent, good to be on. It's going to be a hot weekend, but that's okay because we're going to just stay inside. We got the brand new video game system, got them for the kids. And so now we're just going to enjoy indoor time a little bit. Stay away from the heat.
When you say hot, like what is it out there going to be?
It's going to be like mid 90s to 100 degrees.
Yeah, that's hot. That qualifies. We'll see if it's hot in one of the hottest parts of the Midwest. Some people call it the Mecca. Other people call it Medina. We call Madam Mic Drop even a Taylor.
Hello, good day, everyone. It is artificially sunny in Medina today. But our lovely town is just a buzz. The big giant planters are out with gorgeous flowers. We're building a brand new boutique hotel that they promise is going to be done in 2025. Maybe it'll have like a Christmas opening, but there's a rooftop bar. So you guys are all going to have to come stay at the hotel.
Oh, I thought you were inviting us to stay with you. Oh, okay.
Well, my house is not nearly going to be as cool because I know you just want to be in this wonderful traditional backdrop, right?
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
First of all, let's say hello to Amber. Amber, already saying hello. We are glad to see you. And I know you know this next person that I introduced because he's somewhere in the vacation capital of the is it the States or the world? I cannot ever get it right. What? And he's giving me this. I should just skip over his behind and no, I won't. That wouldn't be nice. Ramon Ray, what is this?
This means you guys are chatting and nobody cares about Leland's games or the weather in even his town. Just start the show and put John on. And let's get with it.
Coming in hot. Coming in
I'm
hot.
so frustrated, Brent. I'm so frustrated.
Well, speaking of, I typically am the one that gets frustrated by this next guy. So,
Hey, everybody.
I'm glad to share the frustration with the bold one, sometimes the cold one, mostly the old one at this point. John Cold Rice Lawson.
Whatever. Let's go. Let's go.
All right. We got some. He even got a dressier shirt than he usually wears. It looks like it's got a collar and everything. So,
all right, isn't that weird?
I know. I'm not used to seeing that, especially on a Friday. But anyway, all right. So as usual, I like to start the show one of two ways. I usually like to ask you guys how you're doing this week, and we just got some good economic news. The jobs forecast actually came in higher than the forecast. So that's good. Inflation seems to be kind of under wraps right now, but of course we have those tricky little tariffs out there. We don't know what's going to happen with that. Stock market is loving the news. What's going on? So, Leland, how are you feeling about this week?
I feel that everything's economically and whatnot. No dust ups.
No dust ups.
There's probably something that you're going to get to. I'm just thinking of an economic point. Not nothing big. I'd say the biggest thing when it comes to worldwide economy and stuff like that is basically all the stuff that happened with Ukraine and Russia, and the war kind of just escalated, and I'm a little frustrated in that. I was hoping that maybe they would go to peace talks, but I don't think that either of them want peace at this point, and just let them hash it out at this point.
Okay.
Wow.
Even
Yes.
how you doing this week? What's up?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing the same as last week. That is where I'm at. I'm checking the numbers here. consumer confidence in May rose by 12.3%. So I'm mostly interested in that.
Okay.
But if all these economic indicators are up, why is everyone down? That is my question, and it has been my question. And I'm just going to throw it over to Ramon, who cannot wait to comment.
You know what? Ramon wanted the last word.
Oh, did he? I'm sorry.
He wanted the cold one to go. And
okay,
I know him. I got to get a little sense he wants to have the last word. So we're going to give him the last word this week. So, Mr. Bold One, how you doing this week? What's up?
Awesome. 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 You know what? We are in the Matrix, bro. I don't believe anything anymore. Seriously. I mean, seriously. This is the upside down world. So welcome to the upside down world. Okay. I don't believe the numbers. I don't believe the administration. I don't believe people are believing the bullshit. That's where I'm at right now. That's how I feel this week.
And that's different from previous
than any other week.
I'm trying to figure out how is it different.
No, it's no different. I feel the same.
And so does Amber. Apparently, she doesn't believe anything anymore either.
There you go.
All right. So let's all take a step back, maybe even a breath, and let the one and only Ramon Ray have his say on how he's doing this week.
Brent, I came in hot because of a conversation we had offline, so I feel better in the 3 minutes we've been live. Calmed down quite a bit. But I do want to ask, and it's good to see you all, most of you. And I do want to ask you, John, what do you believe in then? Amber, what do you believe in? What do you believe, John? If you don't believe the numbers, you don't believe, and I know what you mean metaphorically, the numbers, stuff going out, headlines of the day. What do you believe? What do you believe? We got to believe something.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, there's an old song by the Pointer Sisters. You gotta believe in something. Why not believe in me?
I like.
I used to listen to that song with my grandma. I remember that. Yes, I remember that song.
That's about the only thing that comes to my head right now. I don't feel there is a whole lot, to really grab onto and say this is the truth. And we have systematically on all sides have chipped away at anything that might have been a basis for we've all done this, we've all participated in it, and now to come through and say, well, this is truth and this is nothing, this is what we've done to our society. That's just there is no basis for truth at this point.
Well, I think Amber's last comment has it right. God and the Holy Spirit have it all under control. But I hear what you're saying. We can move on. Brent Leary, thank you for letting me have the last word. I understand. I feel a little bit better, marginally better. But yes, I'm well. We have enough money to pay the StreamYard fees and internet fees and all this. And so we are okay to some degree.
Well, I'll tell you what, StreamYard fees damn near doubled. So that's
correct.
Really interesting.
Really?
Right. Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that later. But I also usually, after I ask that question, how you guys doing this week? Because of Ivana, I like to also throw in a little trivia, a little business trivia. I don't know if it's business or not. It's trivia. Look, Ramon is already shaking his head, looking like, what are we doing here? But we're going to do it.
Never know.
All right. Remember, like when we were kids, I know, John, you have to really go back deep into the recesses of your brain.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
you're just gonna keep it up. You're setting yourself up.
I know. I'm living dangerously, but that's okay. So when we were young, and there was only like 3 TV channels, and all our families would gather around the tube in the living room or family room or wherever we watch it. And you would watch one of those things, and we were pretty much happy for the most part. That was then. This is 2025. And a recent survey of 1,115 U.S. consumers said they are actually sitting down in the living room and watching YouTube what percentage of folks of those 1,115 are not sitting down and gathering around the TV to watch ABC or CBS or NBC or Fox or whatever? They're actually gathering around the TV in the living room and watching YouTube. What percentage?
That's easy, Brent. I'd say 37%.
Okay, 37. Ramon's down for 37.
Should I say 42? Should I?
Why not? You usually do. You want to go with 42?
I'm going to go with 42.
All right. So we got 37. We got 42.
I'm confused. These are the same people that used to sit in front of you?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
They'd be like older than you.
Okay.
Yeah. This is just US.
Hey now. Hey now.
So the percentages of people that sit in front of YouTube together,
They gather around the TV in the family room and they watch YouTube
a YouTube show.
on a big screen.
I'm gonna give it 60%.
All right, so we got 60, we got 42, we got 30. What is it? 37. Look, we even got Yvette. First of all, thank you for joining us, Yvette. Yvette is saying 55%. So we got 37, 42, 55, because we're going to count Yvette, and 60. And that leaves us with Leland McFarland. What do you say?
10%. I'm going down because it's specifically saying YouTube. Now, if it was Netflix, if it was all of these, maybe, a little bit better because it's actually TV shows. But I just don't see a family going, let's go watch this YouTube video. Let's watch Mr. Beast, doing his next crazy thing.
See, but that's not what he said, Leland. You took your bias in there. He didn't say that.
You have to mention Mr. Beast. You know that gets him riled up.
See?
Oh my!
He didn't say that. He just said when they sit down and they're doing their stuff, dishes are washed. Anyhow, Leland, go ahead. It's okay, Brent. What's the answer, Brent?
Oh man, this is so funny. All right, so the answer is kind of only the range is from 37, 10 actually. Now that Leland get in, but the actual answer is, drum roll, please.
No.
Yeah, I got it right, as I usually do.
No, it's 47, not 37.
I know what it says
Even though it was
close.
A win at 42.
Now that's just her patented answer. So, is there any other rationale behind that's your number?
42 is what is it? The answer to the universe.
The answer to everything.
The answer to everything.
I never even heard
It's really funny. I was just talking to a client the other day, and she has this YouTube following. She's does pretty well on YouTube. And when she was talking to me, she was like, "Yeah, and most of my views on YouTube are people watching it on television sets." And I was like, "Are you serious?"
Interesting.
I find that hard. I honestly think this number is so much higher. It might
be.
I mean, I think that my real
so you
head
think 47 was too low?
I think the 47% is a way higher number than I actually thought. So the fact that it was even a question made me think that this number is going to be higher than you think, which is why I went this high, because I like winning. But
so you're surprised that it's this high?
But I'm surprised that it's that high, because I'm with you. I feel like, and maybe that shows my age, maybe I feel like YouTube is a personal watching activity, like on a mobile device.
Well, it is even go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
I was just going to say, at Christmas time, when my family comes over on Christmas Eve, we'll sit down and I'll turn the TV on, and everybody will take turns, posting something or streaming something to the YouTube TV.
Let's say hello to Patricia. She says she only watches YouTube on my phone. Let me ask each of you, do you ever watch YouTube on your TV?
No.
I just told you.
Well, I know. Well, I'm not.
But you guys, but remember we talked about YouTube TV. That's another thing, right? Because there are people
not that. I'm talking about actual YouTube.
Just YouTube, right?
Videos. Yeah, because everybody has something that they watch on YouTube on their phone. Right?
Correct.
That is funny or
I don't watch funny. No. John, mine is not funny.
Okay, funny, entertaining, or education.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? That's shareable.
Yeah.
So
Hey.
when you're in a environment of people, you can literally turn the TV on, and each person can stream something and share it with everybody in the
Well, you know
room.
what? Stream from phone to TV, John. I just meant we're using the app, and I think now we're getting to the nitty gritty. But I think that also when you talk about, I wouldn't want my wife clicking around on YouTube and then jacking up my algorithm. So hence, just for me,
Oh
that's
yeah,
why
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not shared
Oh,
on the TV.
But they
man,
have multiple.
No, but
If
you got
you're
to change the
man,
profile. I'm saying, that's what I mean. It's
yeah,
And
yeah. I
I've
mean,
had that too.
you don't want somebody else's profile.
right.
my husband and I have gotten a Netflix divorce because
you got separate accounts
we have separate. No. We have
or
separate,
separate profiles. Okay.
Oh,
But you
different
have to even.
profile.
You used to
You
have
have
one
to.
profile.
We
Yeah,
were
don't you have
using one profile for the
Oh, no,
longest
how?
time.
Oh man,
How loving is
God.
that? How loving is that?
That's
It's
really
as
No.
loving as black and white TV.
Wow.
Well, then we had to break up on Netflix
Yeah, no, I couldn't
because
do that.
For the
he
children.
was because he was watching. He likes to watch really bad horror, and I like to watch.
Oh, he likes watching politics.
No, not at all. But
So he was cool with your
Thank you,
stuff
Amber.
popping up at his feed, but you weren't cool with his stuff popping up in your
no,
feed.
because it was
That's
what is it like?
Standard.
She has eyes in the back of her head, or the hills have eyes, or like things like
Damn.
that. I'm not interested in that.
I want to post this comment, and I want to make sure that Ramon is looking.
See, you made my day, Brent. And you brought me out of my doldrums, Brent.
That's
Thank you.
Amber who did that.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you,
I just
Amber.
want to make sure you saw that. Not as loving as black. She found that amusing. Amber's got a good sense. All right. So didn't somebody mention content creators?
Yeah, I may have touched on that somewhere. Yeah, can't remember what I said, but
Somebody mentioned it, and I just so happen to have a stat from that survey around content creators. I'm not going to ask you to guess. I'm just going to put it up here. YouTube's most high-profile creator influencers don't tend to transition well to premium streaming platforms. 54% of surveyed consumers and 74% of media execs said high-profile YouTubers like Molly May, have no idea who she is, Liza Koshy, have no idea who she is, and Dude Perfect, I do know them. Brands that have expanded into platforms including Amazon Prime Video, Hulu, and Disney Plus are better off sticking to YouTube. I wonder why that is. Why do you think that is?
my 2 cents, I think the production value, I'm just thinking, I mean, again, we're just five us here. But when I think of, Molly May, who I don't know either, Liza Koshy, who I don't know either, and Dude Perfect, I heard of them from Shark Tank, I think, or whatever they were on. I just think that's not a YouTube-ish, right? It's so fragmented, Brent. We think they're big, but man, there's so many people out there. So that's just my 2 cents. I don't think YouTube is perfect for discoverable brands, the millions of people, millions of ways. But Amazon Prime is still pretty much high-end quality shows in a limited amount of categories.
I have seen it happen. I think one of the first YouTubers that kind of transitioned over to mainstream, and this was back when TV was still more prominent, is this guy. His name was Fred, and he was god awful annoying. And he got a Nintendo, or not Nintendo, a Nickelodeon show, and it did well. And there have been a couple of others, like there's the little kid, his name's Ryan, and he would just have a YouTube channel playing with toys. That's all he did. And then he got himself another he got himself a gig on Nickelodeon as well. And those translated well because it's that kind of entertainment. It's kids entertainment.
Right.
And you can kind of judge with the quality a little bit. But when you're talking about stuff like, maybe Mr. Beast is a good example of something that could be translated well because you got a competition.
And because he's a celebrity and he's a big time, amazing person. Go ahead.
But yeah, it's like, okay, this person who's just an influencer is like, yeah, come with me through my day. And this is just my daily life.
Yeah.
Probably not something that's going to translate very well. So I would put it up to what kind of media is it? And is it something that can easily translate over to a different, streaming platform or something like that?
Not everybody could be a Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Right, Ramon?
I I think what they're missing, or what they're trying to do is trying to bring people from one platform to another,
Not
and
gonna work.
that's not working.
Nope.
So it's like you're not bringing YouTube viewers over to Amazon to follow their YouTube person that they can get on YouTube. They're not going to go over to Amazon and watch just because they're over there. And of course, that's not going to work, and that's what Amazon wants to do. Amazon's not looking for, any of these influencers to take more share from their already Amazon audience. They're trying to grow their audience by taking some of the viewership from YouTube that these people follow and bring them to their platform.
But John,
and that's probably what the issue is.
It may not be, John, only taking the followers, and thank you for that, Tony. It may not be only the follower count taking them from, but I think, again, seriously, Brent, going back to Mr. Beast, I think what they did right on Amazon, from what I can see, again, we're all just spitballing here, they created a whole new freaking show. I don't think Amazon was trying to steal it. They put millions into creating a Amazon primed, no pun intended, show, which is freaking awesome for those who like it. So I think it wasn't just, like Leland said, him walking around, hey guys, I can fart. No, it was a whole show with 16 or whatever episodes prime ready for Amazon, high class production.
The other thing they did too is they promoted it. They promoted the hell out of it.
Yeah. And they still are. Watch the rerun.
Not they. He.
Amazon is.
Oh, it was on Amazon Prime too. I saw those commercials.
No. Anyway, I got to send you the interview. He spent all his money marketing that show.
Oh,
Amazon gave him the platform. He spent all his money making sure that show.
So wait a minute, did he spend?
Was going to be?
Did he spend money with Amazon to position it on the Amazon Prime front of the when you turn on your Amazon Prime TV? Mr. Beast, did he have to pay for that, or did they give that space to him where hundreds of millions of people?
Well, they were going to give them that. They were going to give.
Well, that's what I'm saying. These little guys aren't going to get that, even if they were spending their own money. They weren't going to get front page access to the Amazon Prime menu. That's worth a lot of money right there. A lot of promotional value.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be.
It doesn't, but it sure as hell means you're going to get a little bit more than what they're probably getting, which is
right. But I mean, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get the followership for 16 episodes just because you was at the front of Amazon's landing page.
I'm not saying that they will, but you'll get more than what they got. That's what I'm saying. Now, the combination of Mr. Beast and Amazon working together to promote something, hell yeah.
Hey, Dr. Will. Yeah, no, for sure. But listen, we have to give it
to
him.
Yeah, he did make another show.
Yeah, the production quality. He got a signed deal. They promoted it.
It's like a show. It looks like a TV show, right?
Show, yeah.
I'm guessing the folks the creators on YouTube do not have a TV look to what they're doing.
They don't.
So there's a lot of that go into that. But I think it's really interesting that, content creators trying to make a transition, they're successful on YouTube, but then when they try to transition to something else, it's a lot more difficult than I probably thought it would be.
And there's
but that's, you know what? Hey, I'm just thinking, hold on, sorry. But that happens with TV shows. You could be doing great on NBC, they move you to ABC, and all of a sudden you're not doing the same numbers.
That's right.
Well, usually when that happens, this is like going back to the day. Sorry for all you young folks. We're talking traditional TV here. We'll be out of it in a minute. When a star or a top 10 show moves to another day, that means they are not a top 10 show anymore. They're on the downside, so it's not quite the same. By the way, let's send a shout out to Pierre and Dr. Will Moreland and Tony Schmidt for joining us, and of course, we just like shouting out Amber whenever we can.
And Brent, these are some, all of our audience is good, but these are some top level people here. Dr. Will Moreland, he's got a following. Pierre, dope dude in analytics, like doing this for years. Tony Schmidt, what's up? Good to see you here. And so and Amber, of course, just happy that, all the audience who follows me is here and I'm bringing them to our show. Without me,
this is going to be
one of the things, I think I've said this before, but think about if we're comparing television and the networks to creator opportunity on all these different platforms. The space has really opened up to all kinds of creators. And of course, I have to default to saying each platform is unique. Like Reels is different from TikTok, even though they're both short video, or YouTube shorts or whatever, you know, in the same way that LinkedIn is different from Facebook. It is a different space with its own little cultural ways of being. And I think it opens up, like, one of the things I've gotten suckered into is on, so like on TikTok, there are creators who are like really bad, the makers of really bad dramas, but they are so addicting and they suck you in. Some of them are Asian, some of them are they are lame, and the storylines are incredibly stupid, but they you can pay. They suck you in, and there's like a red button, and then you can pay to watch this entire thing. Now, I have watched several of these loops. I would not pay for it. But at the same time, I'm like, I cannot believe I am watching this really poorly done story. Almost like it's extreme, almost like telenovela, and the actors are really bad and the story is really bad. Maybe it's like a train wreck, and I'm like, wow, this is really bad. I can't stop watching it. All this to say is maybe that eco space is meant to have its own celebrities and its own stars, and that's what it's for.
Yeah.
Just like you had stars in the theater, people who were great at theater and didn't transition to television.
That's
For
right.
some people, like, just like the rawness of the lack of production and the lack of like really thought out story plots. They just want to listen to somebody rant, or sometimes, you know, and that doesn't transition well to like a platform like an Amazon Prime. So, you know, let me get a few things out of the way here.
Dr. Will, be careful, Dr. Will. Be careful, Dr. Will.
Patricia Anderson says, well, she's laughing, and then she says, at least she's laughing at the thought of being a John fan. So I do appreciate the laugh at the beginning, because I was really going to be a little upset. And of course, there's mutual appreciation here, because the cold one, the bold one, also is a Patricia Anderson fan. So it's good that we have fandom working in mutual ways. Dr. Will, there was a bit of a familiar ring to what Ramon said, which makes for a really great segue, because guess what we're going to be talking about next, folks?
What? If this is not Gay Pride Month, I don't know what is.
Only New York folks can come up with a great headline.
Oh, cool. So everybody, I know everybody here has heard what went on and went down yesterday. The bromance finally ended. It was doomed from the start. We knew it was going to end, and it was going to end badly. It was just a matter of when. I think I had it ending about a month previous to now. But the fact that it lasted this long, it still doesn't matter, because it ended spectacularly. So much so, I want to make sure I get this right. You know who was trying to be the voice of reason on this?
Fox News.
Oh,
Kanye. Man. Seriously? Wow. Do we give him any?
Hell no. We don't give him nothing.
Yeah, get him off the screen.
Bros, please no. We love you both so much.
And 99,000 likes.
No, oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. 99,000, and that was a screenshot yesterday, so it's well over 100,000. I'm guessing right now.
7.6 million views.
For bros, please no. With some emoji. I don't even know what the emoji is. Anyway, it came to an end yesterday. It flamed out spectacularly. They started like really going at each other online via X, or some people call them excrements. I kind of find that amusing. Or what truths? Is that what he calls it on his thing? Truth?
It is called Brent. It's called. Truth. You can say it. Follow me, Brent. Excuse me. Brent. You called me Truth. Truth Social, Brent. Truth Social. You can say it, Brent. Truth Social is the app of President Donald Trump.
He calls them their truths. That's like the posts you make are called truths.
It's true. I
think, which is so ironic, but I'm not getting into that right now, because we'll be talking about that all damn day. All
John has 4,000 followers on Truth Social.
I'm leaving that one alone as well. All right, so let's put our small business people hats on here, because I know we can all go to town from a personal perspective. But is this a big deal, no deal, little deal that the world's richest man and the world's, I guess I have to say it, the leader of the free world, I feel a little something in my mouth.
It's okay. It's okay.
Thanks, Leland.
Just say it more and it'll be a better.
Say it all together, folks. Now, is it any deal at all? Do you care as a small business person that the leader of the free world and the world's richest man, the person that most people may even say is the most influential person in tech, are at each other's throats? That one says the big, what do they call it, the big beautiful bill is the best thing going, and the other guy says he needs to be like impeached because of it. Is this a big deal? And whose team are you on in this thing? Are you team Trump, or are you team Musk? Or if you're like me, I'm sitting this one out. But who wants to go first?
I'll go. Let me speak. Let me speak for Ivana and John. Let me speak for them both, because we three represent each other. So here's what it is. No, but seriously, here's what I think. Listen, I think it is, and I'm not going to answer the question directly, but give me some grace here, Brent. But I think it's detrimental for the Republican Party that Elon Musk is off the rails, because of all that money and some visibility, he could Ross Perot anything he wants. Third party, fund who he wants. It's just stupid. Number two, I think this show's going back to small business world, as we all know. Don't take big grievances like this in public. Number three, I think this was ego. When Zelensky didn't kowtow enough, bow a little, just a little, kiss the ring a little bit, he would have been fine at Oval Office. But something ticked Trump and Vance off. So I don't know what the deal is, but clearly Trump didn't, see what I'm saying? Even Trump didn't either kiss Elon's ring enough, or
I'm watching Amber, who is right spot on there. I'm shaking my, sorry, Ramon. I'm just acknowledging Amber's wisdom.
Why is it wisdom again? Why is it wisdom?
She's on the sideline. She doesn't have a dog in this fight, basically.
Well, okay. I don't know.
Citizens,
you nice people, Amber, but I don't know. Go ahead, John.
I'm just saying, anytime like the Rams and the Saints play, I'm like, I hope both teams lose.
We're not going there until it's 5 o'clock.
But you know what? I totally agree with. You know what? Here's the thing. You knew it was going to happen. Absolutely. And then people are shocked by how it imploded so publicly.
Hey, John, I'm sorry to cut you off, but why did you think it was going to happen? Honestly, John, I didn't see this coming. I couldn't. I thought they really genuinely did like each other.
I apprate you for saying that.
Yeah, you just set him up for a home run here.
Right, because I posted on November 6th, 1 day after the election, that this would happen. I said they will not be because both of them do not share power well.
Okay, so it's not a political thing. This is purely power.
No, this is ego.
It's totally
ego driven.
It's totally ego.
Okay.
Yes, and so you knew that was. I knew that was coming at some point. And the fake. Oh, he's so smart. Oh, he's my. Back and forth with the love. You could see it. I could just. They're so playing roles.
So when he was in the boardroom saying, "Listen, without the president, we wouldn't be here today," that was all fake. And Donald Trump saying, "Elon, key to the city." They had guns behind their back.
The truth came out yesterday. The truth is what happened yesterday. All that other stuff was
partially. Yeah, right, exactly. And all that other stuff was front. And then really what happened, and if you would have watched the timeline, Donald or the president, let's put it like that.
President Trump. You can say it, John. President Trump.
Yeah, President Trump.
Okay.
He shut up after the one comment. I'm not even gonna put a lot of so the deal was, it's like he said, have a good day, DJT. And after that, DJT went into his little hole and shut up. I'm telling you, Elon has the goods.
Yes. Which
definitely has
would
to
happen,
do.
John, when you're good friends, say me and you, we rocking together, we friends, we share everything. I gossip to you, gossip to me. Clearly, Elon has everything. Yeah, because they were
Yeah.
bros. Yeah.
Yeah. Not only were they bros, here's the other part, and you guys, y'all can fight with me all you want. Trump is definitely a figurehead in terms of leadership. He likes to look like he's leading, but he really doesn't like to do anything. So he handed all the keys off to Elon. So Elon's got so much information on what's going on in the back room that Trump just had to be like, yo, I need to let this one go.
Yeah.
We'll see how he doubles back, and try to save face. But I think what we've probably seen the best of it.
I'm just reflecting on the reason that John's analysis has been so crystal clear on this point is because he is such an avid watcher
Yes.
of Housewives.
Ooh, okay.
All right,
100.
you for
100.
even though you had me worried, but I like the way that you landed on a reality TV show. That's
Because that is
definitely up
about
his
politics
alley.
and power or what? What's
That's
the
that
definitely
is
up
what's
his alley.
on my list of comments here.
but even what's up with Housewives? Is that about power and stuff? I mean, I know what the headline is. But
I'm
just
about
petty.
to tell you if you let
Oh.
me.
oh
break
my
it
Lord,
down.
how long we got to wait, Ivana?
So I think it's fitting that we had the discussion we did prior on creators on YouTube and these different platforms, and they're transitioning into some other platforms because this is like entertainment. And what makes me melt is that this is distracting us and continually feeding us as a public entertainment. When I saw that my feed was filled with truths and tweets and who said what and Epstein files and this and that, and I was like, oh my God, this is a distraction. Meanwhile, there is a reality happening for small business owners who don't know where we are on tariffs right now, who don't know whether they should take those, make their purchases now or do whatever, like real people, right? So like, what is the impact? I would like to know, because then I'm going to ask the business question that every CEO asks of every employee, especially now, which is, what have you done for me lately?
All right,
What have they done for small business lately exactly that's going to make it better? Because despite these jobs forecasts and inflation forecasts and stock market forecasts all being up, these are not indicators of how people feel. These are indicators of an economy. And we run a capitalist economy. And people who own capital are doing well.
All right, before Ramon, you launch, Leland, you haven't had a chance to get in here yet.
I do feel it unfortunate that they couldn't come to a consensus. From what I've seen, basically it's Elon Musk wants more. He wants more cuts, and the big beautiful bill doesn't cut as much as Elon wants. From what I've seen, it's gonna cut about $1.7 trillion over the next 10 years, but that's not enough for Elon Musk. He doesn't want the debt ceiling to be raised, and so he's pushing back on Trump because he doesn't want the debt ceiling raised. But Trump's like, we still do need to actually have the debt ceiling raised because debts are still going to be incurred. It's unfortunate, but that's what, it's the situation that he's been handed in. There's a lot that they want to cut, but from what I have seen, it takes a 60% vote in the Senate to be able to actually cut those things. And that's not something that you're going to be able to do in this big, beautiful bill. What it does do for the small business owners is it's going to continue those tax cuts that Trump originally did in his first term that are slated to expire if it doesn't get included in this big, beautiful bill. And so if those tax cuts don't get continued, you're going to see a lot of small business owners see massive increases in their taxes and potentially hurt them down the line. And so Trump's just wanting to get this in, so that the average person reduces their tax liabilities and keep taxes down for small business owners, and then over the next 4 years continue to cut down spending in ways that we can get to the point where potentially we're not borrowing $2 trillion a year in order to keep the lights on in the federal government. It's just that they're just coming at heads, and it blew up, unfortunately. I wish that they would just work together for the common good of gradually stepping to the point where maybe we reduce over the course of the next 4 years.
I just wanted to thank you, Leland. Thank you, Brent. I just wanted to say, even I thought you were saying that this is all like a game. They're trying to distract us. I mean, are you like one of these Illuminati people? Like they're trying to distract us and all this is fake and all that? I mean, I think this is a real argument.
Oh, no. This is real.
Oh, okay.
And it's a tail wagging the dog, or it's a like, hey, don't look. How does that go? Don't look at the man behind the curtain. Look at this thing instead, because I think there are way more bigger issues.
Yeah, but even I don't think that's happened. Even I hear your heart on this, and I think you're talking from a practicalist point of view. And this is mine. Let's move on from this, because this is now distracting from what we, whatever it is. But I just think even because I hear things like that, like, oh, the car crash happened, or this happened because they're trying to distract us. No.
Oh, no. I'm just saying.
Trying to distract us. This is real.
I'm just saying there's a big conversation. I'm so happy that Leland talked about it the way he did. Right. There's a real economic impact headed for small business in one way or another. And of course, it depends on what kind of small business you are. Right. Because we all know that 80% of small business owners are like bringing home like $68,000 a year.
Yep.
Those people are going to see an increase of at least $1,000 to their taxes. Let's not talk about other increases in materials and blah, 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 right? Because I just saw the price of roast beef went to like $12.99 a pound. I'm like, I got a $13 bag of meat to make sandwiches with. It was like, that used to be steak. So small businesses, the bulk of them, I'm not talking about enterprises or people with 500 employees. I'm talking about little tiny people like your restaurant or whatever are going to be impacted.
Hold on a second.
Hey, before you go, I was going to say goodbye. Wait a minute. Let's say goodbye to Ramon, because he's got to leave.
Appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. I feel the love. Thank you all.
You're awesome.
You, John. Forget you too, John. See y'all later. Thanks. Keep the show going.
I'm just curious. 13. See, that's the problem, and this is why I have the problem believing stuff. When I walk in to the grocery store and I see the prices have skyrocketed on, like you said, a pack of roast beef. Come on. And then you tell me, hey, the numbers say that the inflation has, I'm like,
that's what I'm saying.
My reality does not say that. So
because
I don't
what
know.
Are we measuring? This is my question.
I don't know
When we talk about small business and what impacts small business and so on and so forth, we forget, like, I think we collapse a bunch of things. We collapse what these numbers are measuring, and we try to pretend that those numbers equal some kind of like happiness and good feeling or optimism or something. I just told you guys earlier, consumer confidence is up, and I'm like, really? Because
it's up from like almost an all-time low, though. It's not like
again, still, like to my point. All I'm trying to say is when I talk about small business, I'm talking about Amber. I'm talking about our audience here.
Here's another thing too. And I'll throw this back to Leland. These tax cuts. Now, I lived through these tax cuts. I really don't remember coming out of 2020. What was it? 20, whenever it was, 2017, whenever this tax cut was made. I don't remember coming out being like, "Woof! Look at all this money! Look at all this money I got! I got so much money in my small." It was a 20% pass-through deduction, right? And a 20% pass-through deduction equaled out to maybe 4-5%, increase in my, pocket. Not saying it's, nothing, but it wasn't all that substantial. It's not like, oh my God, please save me from the tax cuts being repealed. I don't get it.
My CPA, who does my taxes and the taxes for just a ton of businesses. And just to your point exactly, John, when it came, when he tallied up all the returns he did for all the businesses and everything, and he asked himself, did they do better? His answer was no. These small businesses were paying more in taxes after that tax cut. So again, I can't speak for big companies. I don't know. I just know what the impact is. And to my point about this entire soap opera that's going on social media, I'm still asking myself, what have you done for me exactly?
Could I just point out one thing that I think is helping with that confidence score? If you remember back when Independence Day was announced, the stock market lost about a total of roughly 20% at its low. That's 401ks. That's when you look at your statement and you see, oh my God, I've lost. What do you think confidence is going to do? But over the last several weeks, that has gone back up. We're actually almost where we were before all that. And guess what? Confidence follows. That's just the way it goes. So even though I agree with some of this in the inflation and some of the other stuff, but when people see their 401ks go down, confidence goes down. When they see them go up, confidence goes up with it. That's all that's going on.
That makes sense.
And I just want to be clear about something else too. This was a conversation we were having prior to the Trump administration. Oh, the economic numbers look so great. Everything's like so great. It's so great. And yet people are not feeling the greatness. To John's previous point.
Well, if I recall correctly, though, when it was announced that Trump won, confidence did shoot up.
Yeah,
I mean, the initial thing was, oh, we got a Republican
always
back,
does,
and things are going to get better.
And all the things were, and it was over.
But this is a common trend.
I mean,
I wish I had this chart. Somebody did a study on the stock market and its performance, comparing when a Republican gets elected, what happens is the stock market shoots up for like 30 days or something, or maybe a quarter, like immediately shoots up. And then it starts like doing this off, tapering off. Meanwhile, when when a Democrat gets elected, the market actually comes down during that immediate period, and then it starts shooting up. And when they take that time period together, Democratic, at the end of those 4 years, economic performance and the performance of the stock market is higher with a Democratic administration versus a Republican administration. And yet, I still hold to what I've been saying. The people are not feeling it. So it's as if our economic system, the system that we have created, is doing its thing. But the question is the byproduct doing anything for the participants of that system?
I'll add another component to that. It's not just the stock market, and this is just I'm just going by the numbers. I don't have any fight in this one, but I think I saw when the president is a Democrat, 15 million more net jobs got created than versus when the president
Correct.
was a Republican. I don't know, why that is. I'm just saying that's just the numbers.
Because the Democratic political party, the Democrats, have a serious messaging problem. And I think that's hysterical that they cannot crack that. Like, as a marketer, I just think it is so funny that an organization that is filled with creatives and these types of people just cannot relate to and can't communicate with their audience, right?
But wait, isn't that the same effect that you just said down the other side? Where it's like, so for Republicans and they do a lot of cutting, and then the Democrat comes back in and does a lot of, bloating. Then
True.
Of course it's going to have more jobs. But
the surveys,
government again.
And the surveys always show that consumers, the population that's voting, that's being surveyed, always gives props. They say, who can manage the economy better? Those survey respondents consistently say, yeah, the Republicans.
Yeah.
You know, and then so it's fascinating. The whole thing is fascinating to me, and I hope I'm coming off as like this is just numbers and perceptions.
Yep.
And again, I did think of that, Brent, while this whole stuff was going on. I'm like, we got serious issues here. You know, why is no one talking about adding revenue? Although I did hear someone say, and I don't know if this is true, I don't follow this, do not know. Someone said that Steve Bannon said that they should raise taxes on the rich. Has anyone heard anything like this?
I think I have heard him
Probably
say something
said
like
that.
that. Leland, you might know a little bit more.
Do you
about
know
that.
something
Have
about
you
that,
heard
Leland?
I just know that has been the main mission for a lot of the Democratic Party is just let's raise taxes on the rich. I've never seen, excuse me, getting over a cold. But I've never seen a model that shows, because there's been a lot of call for let's, tax the rich at like 90% once they hit a certain amount or something like that.
That goes back to the 50s. I think that was when Eisenhower that was actually the tax range back then.
Well, and they've done models to where they've looked at when taxes were ridiculously high and when they've been ridiculously low, and the same amount of taxes have been taken in. The biggest thing that changes between a high tax rate and a low tax rate is a decrease in the GDP for the country with higher taxes, because businesses are going to spend less because they know that there's less money to be able to pack away for another day. And so they're a lot more judicious with their money, and we see a lot less going through the economy. And so I'm not the biggest fan of raising taxes, because we got numbers to say with high taxes comes low GDP. With low taxes comes high GDP. The same amount of money comes in. So let's just lower taxes, make the economy thrive so that more transactions happen. When more transactions happen, more taxation happens.
I would say there is a pretty big exception to that, and that was after World War II was over and everybody came back and started having children, and the baby boomers were being born, and they had a GI Bill so these folks could get houses and go to school.
Some folks, right?
Yes, well, exactly, some folks, right? Thank you for putting that in there. The economy was blasting, and the tax rate was the top end tax rate was 90%. It was a boom economy. That's why you keep hearing some folks say we want to go back to the good old days. Those were the 50s. That's when the tax rate was 90%.
Stock buybacks were illegal at that time. You could not purchase stock. I'm just saying, my lived experience as someone who's lived in Pittsburgh with the steel mills is when Reagan gave those he specifically said, I remember he gave those tax cuts to quote unquote manufacturers, industry, whatever, these big organizations, the trickle down thing. He gave them those tax cuts specifically saying, Japan has been rebuilding. We need to be more competitive. Reinvest in your infrastructure. Now, I happen to be working in manufacturing at that time, and I am from a steel town. And I want you to ask me how much capital investment, how many of those organizations took those tax cuts, Leland, that they got to save for a rainy day to be more competitive. Ask me how many of them took that money and bought, hired people, bought equipment and mill things, right, to make more stuff and make more stuff more efficiently. Ask me.
Probably, yeah.
Big niche stuff. They went on vacation. They bought their stock back, and they went on vacation, and they took their bonuses and they laid people off. That's what happened.
I'm not the biggest fan of when governments do bailouts, when they do these, these cuts without specific, instructions to the companies that they are doing. It's Correct. Like we have these Amazon facilities coming into our area, and they get tax cuts on all of their property taxes.
And give them more money than anybody.
Well, yeah, but it's competitive. It's a local, it's a county. It's not like it's a state. The county is bringing in, giving them tax breaks on property tax. But what is Amazon bringing in?
Robots.
Lots, hundreds of, maybe up towards 1,000 high-paying jobs. So now we have a county with, like, 30,000 people, and 1,000 of them all of a sudden have these really high-paying, really good jobs, and the money is then circulating through the county. I like those. I
Only
like
after
where
they
it
pay the
benefits.
taxes that Amazon isn't paying, because who's gonna have to pay? The money's got to come from somewhere. See, that's what
Well,
gets me.
it's either that or they work,
No
on a
jobs.
farm, and
Yeah.
it's a blue collar job where
I
they're
mean,
getting paid half as much.
I get it. I think I just think that's such a con
It's
when
frustrating.
they do that.
But it's got to have a benefit. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, we will give you this, but you
I'd say
have
that
to
is a
do
nasty
this,
game
and
they
this.
play. I think it is a
And same thing.
nasty, crooked game, and where local communities who can benefit and all the things and get even more are not getting that. Like Amazon needs a discount and a tax break. Seriously.
Well, yeah, but
Your people need more money and a tax break so that money can do all the things you're talking about.
I'm just saying, we got
I
the
know.
contract. Our county got the contract, and if we didn't give the tax break, it would have gone somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. That's the game.
There was a town just down this 30 miles away. We were going to get a Daytona 500 racetrack, big old thing. It was in the works. Town didn't play ball. They didn't play ball. We lost it. We lost a Daytona 500 racetrack coming to our area. The amount of tourism that it would have brought in, the amount of money, the jobs, it would have been amazing for our community. We lost it because the town didn't play ball. So some other town got it.
Yeah. Everybody, all those towns should stop that stuff. That's what they were doing with the Amazon facilities that ended up going to DC or something. They always knew. They just wanted to see what they could get. That's so crooked and mean and all. I've read articles where these towns were saying, we're not playing. We're just not playing, because they did the analysis. I'm in Cleveland. They're going to build a stadium. We don't pay for it for a losing team. Like,
but that's, I mean, you talk about the Daytona. What do you think some of these football teams, why they move? Because they get money thrown at them because they know the economic power that comes with having a professional sports franchise. Just the way it is. I don't think there's anything that anybody can do about it, because there's always somebody willing to pay if there's somebody who doesn't want to pay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Well,
think
and that's
Cleveland can't afford to lose them Browns.
Nah,
they've already. It's happened before.
Well, they did once.
Yeah.
Again. Yeah. What was the guy's name that they just vilified after that? The owner.
Oh yeah, Marge.
No, not Marge. That's Marge shot for the big for the Reds. I'm talking about the guy that owned the Browns.
I can't.
They
remember.
killed him until he died.
Yeah.
Dang.
I'll think of it.
I didn't like him because he let Jim Brown go.
Yep. Yeah.
That was his first mistake with me.
Modell.
Yeah, Art Modell. Yeah.
Modell.
His name was literally a 4-letter word. It was illegal to say his name in Cleveland. And then he moved the team to Baltimore and they won a Super Bowl. Oh my God.
That is the Cleveland curse, you guys. Somebody leaves, like they get these players, they lose in Cleveland, and then they switch teams and they go to the Super Bowl. It's like a thing.
LeBron
At least
did it.
LeBron won one for him before.
Yeah,
At least he came back. He came back.
Yeah, that's right. All right, man, this is great. So final thoughts. And I have something, I don't know. I think I might recommend this. Have you guys ever heard of this? It's called a Mob Void Tick Note.
What?
It's this little thing here that you can stick on the back of your phone. It's an AI device. You can stick this on the back of your MagSafe phone. And then, like when you're in a meeting, I was at a conference, and so I was in a lot of meetings, a lot of sessions, a lot of events, a lot of presentations. You can stick this on the back of your phone, turn a button on, and it'll start recording. And at the end, when you turn it off, it'll have transcribed what was heard. It will give you a summary. It will give you the aha moments. It'll even give you a mind map of what was said, all from this little device. It's like I think it was $159. and I've been skeptical about AI devices, but this little sucker is worth every penny. So it's called a Tick Note. The company's name is MOBVOY, Mobvoy. I guess that's how you spell it. But it's something to check out because I couldn't believe within minutes of like a 30-minute presentation, stop the recording, and within 4 minutes, it had a transcript. It had a summary of the biggest things. It had the aha moments and a mind map of how all that stuff was related. It was amazing. So something to check out. I just thought I'd put that out there because I usually don't like this thing. Like this stupid thing here. I bought this thing when it first came out. I don't even remember what the name is, but it was like one of those like the whatever that pen was. This came out at the same time. It's supposed to be able to just talk to it and get your pizza ordered or get all this stuff. Never worked. Never worked.
Yeah, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yep. But this one is worth it. So that's why I was pointing it out. Let's see if I can get it.
Thank you.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah. Anyway, do you guys have something like any AI kind of tool or service you want to shout out? Maybe somebody has something that we can all use.
Cool. Well, starting next week, I'll have the AI for Small Business weekly newsletter.
Okay. Okay. That's not what I was thinking, but
no.
Oh,
I mean,
you asked.
I was thinking
the more I try, the more I end up. I'm noticing that I tend to focus on the thing I've learned the most. You know what I would love to see? This is not a tool that exists, but I'm waiting. I am hesitant to try new tools because I have so much in Chat GPT. This is like the software dilemma. I am so vested in that platform. I have dozens of custom GPTs created, programmed, tweaked, and all that stuff. And I have no way of connecting that with any other platform. I literally have to recreate it. And hence I don't want to do that. So I'm back into Chat GPT. It's very frustrating.
My big one I've been using is HeyGen. It is a video AI virtual you, and it was actually surprisingly easy to make up a virtual you.
And you like yours? Are the ones that you put on LinkedIn, is that HeyGen or is that really you?
Yeah,
that is really good. I did not like mine. I didn't like it at all. I think
you got to be very still. You don't want to do a whole lot of shifting and moving. Just little movements of your head and your mouth and gestures. It's either that or you get. I did one before and it was doing this throughout. it was very weird. But yeah, you get unlimited videos for like $30 a month. You get unlimited videos that are 5 minutes long, and I think for $60 you can get that up to 30 minutes long. And you could tell if you really looked, you could tell that it's AI, but it's good enough for the purposes that I'm doing. So it saved me so much time. I should say I do the same amount of time, but I could do more work with it. So it's kind of like what we talked about last week, but it's super cheap for what you're getting.
By the way, Patricia, that's it on the screen there. Mobvoy Tick Note. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but that's the way it looks to me. Check it out. It's so far it's really impressive. All right, I think we're at the top of the hour, a little after. Final thoughts, Mr. Ice.
Man, have a good weekend.
Oh, such a nice one.
I know. I like ending with a good one.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything snarky about that. Leland.
May all your small business ventures provide to come out fruitful, and that you find success in even the smallest deals.
Wow. Such positivity to end the week, and it all comes down to Madam Mic Drop herself, all the way from Medina.
I know. I don't think I have a mic drop moment. I was just reflecting on what one of my mentors said to me. He says, know what you need to be successful and do that. If it doesn't look like the thing that you do well to be successful, just don't do it. So, focus on what you need to be successful and just do that.
Hey, since Ramon had to leave, I will take his because he just let me know what he wanted to say. And he says, John's right.
Yeah, somehow I don't think could be wrong, but I don't think I am. And mine would be, may your 5 p.m. Eastern be free and open so that you can watch me dismantle Mr. Ice.
Oh, it won't happen this week.
I'll try to. Why are you guys not doing it?
Oh, you were great last week, Eva. Thanks.
Yeah, we enjoyed having you around.
I love it when I can come. I can't my schedule doesn't make it so I can come, but we'll see if I remember and you pop up in my stream. So awesome.
Well, we'll pop up in your stream, maybe. But I know one thing we will talk about and we will both agree on, because tomorrow is June 7th. I know Mr. Ice knows what day that is.
Is it somebody's birthday? Is it your birthday, John?
Definitely somebody's birthday, and I'm surprised. I might have to take back your fan card on this if you don't know what June the 7th.
Oh, Prince Day.
Prince.
Absolutely.
Prince. Hey, can we highlight Amber?
Absolutely.
Yay.
Amber is our biggest fan on
I like
5
what she said there. I like
we
what
must
she said there.
we must stay prayerful,
and
encouraged.
I like that. And we like her. She is a trooper. We call her a trooper. Because she'll hopefully be able to join us at 5 o'clock too. All right. Until next Friday, it is Small Biz Breakdown. Later.